Hey everybody, it's Michael Bryson for This is Bodybuilding, and I'm here today with the 2021 Dallas Europa Classic Physique champion, Tony Taveras. How are you, Tony?
I'm doing great, man.
Awesome. How many days out now are you? You're really like 5 days out or 6 days out?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yep, 5 days it is,
5
man.
days.
We are in the darkest phase, the darkest hour.
How are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you trepidatious or?
I'm very excited. You know, about two weeks back, I think I was sharing with you a couple of days ago that, you know, the hardest thing about this prep is just running a multi-million-dollar company and just traveling around. Like, I haven't been able to sit still during the last 8 weeks much. I mean, I've been in Lubbock, in Florida, in Texas, I mean, all over the place, different markets while training, you know, 5 a.m., 12 at night. So finally, you know, all my meetings are done and I fly out early. I fly out tomorrow morning. That way, Steve, Ray, and I can start executing peak week. But I feel great. Like 2 weeks ago, you know, it was tough. Like you're in the darkness, you're in a deficit, you're traveling, you're getting on airplanes. But finally, I feel in a really good spot. I'm in the last hard pull of the prep, but I'm actually smiling because I know the end result is coming and I look great and I'm just ready to put it on display.
Yeah, there's not too many guys that you're going to be competing against who have also the added pressure of running a multi-million-dollar company. So that's something extra. But if you look anything like you did when I saw you win the Dallas Europa or anything better than that, you're going to be
we're going to be better, Mike.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. What's crazy is after the Dallas Europa, 2 days later, I was in the gym and I was putting all the food to use. And, you know, it's crazy because we're looking at myself in the gym now and my back has gotten better. Like Ray and I and Steven were looking at it and it's like my lats and my detail in my back has improved. And that was my strength. Yes. And so, you know, it's going to be really scary. I really do feel, based on this physique, added more muscle tissue since Dallas Europa. We are 5'11" and change, so we have to pull water just to make 222, but we will be standing on stage at about 228 pounds, 6 pounds over weigh-in with every ounce of muscle that we can carry. So it's going to be scary, and I would say it's going to be hard to beat my back.
Awesome. When do you have to weigh in for the show?
Got to weigh in Friday afternoon, evening. Okay. I think it's like 5 o'clock, something like that. And that's great because at the Dallas Europa, I had to weigh in the morning of the show right before prejudging.
That's rough.
Yeah. That was so this is gonna be a breeze.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember guys saying that that's the good thing about the Arnold Classic is there's a little bit more time there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good. The show, man, it's a stacked lineup. This is a great prep for your first Olympia, which is going to be 2 weeks after this.
It is.
You got the same guys pretty much, except for maybe Breon and Chris Bumstead. That's pretty much it.
You got Divine, buddy of mine. He'll be at the Olympia. He's gonna be a top dog there. But yeah, I mean, basically, this is a top 10 Olympia type lineup, and I'm friends with a lot of the guys. It could go any way, and that's why for me with this prep, it's just about bringing my best. It's just about bringing the best to the biggest stage on earth and having fun with it, having fun with the guys, and putting on a show for the fans is what I want to do. And ultimately, I almost feel like I won't even have any pressure going into the Olympia. If I can do what I need to do going into the Arnold, then I'm already in shape. I'm already there. I already got the physique, and then it's 2 weeks later. So It's like, this is the one right here where we're throwing the kitchen sink at it, and we are pulling hard and nasty over the next 3 days before we load up. So we're excited.
Yeah. I mean, this is what you're going to see where you measure up to these guys. I think you're going to measure really, really well. I don't think any placing is out of the question for you. This is not a show that I think has got a clear winner. You know, I think there's so many guys here, including yourself, who could walk away as the champion. Terrence, I guess on paper would have to be Terrence and Alex were 1 and 2 last year. And then at the Olympia, Terrence superseded him by, I think, 2 places. So on paper, it's him and Alex, but I think, I don't know, anything can happen.
I agree. And I know on paper, I'm not supposed to be the favorite. You know, in the Dallas Europa, I felt like I was the favorite going in. So I think that's given me added motivation this time. You know, I'm being an underdog. It's my first time at the Arnold's, because first time going to the Olympia. So really for me, there's really nothing to lose. And that's a scary thing. I'm throwing it all. I'm throwing, like I said, the kitchen sink at it, and I want to see where I measure up. And, you know, for me, I'm a performer. You know, when I get on the stage, I look to draw the crowd. I look to put on a performance. I look to have that stage presence and aura. You know, not everyone has that level of performance. So I feel like that's going to give me an added advantage because I'm not shy and I don't get scared and I don't get nervous.
Yeah, there's few that are like you in this. I mean, Logan Franklin, perhaps. We saw Logan just a few weeks ago. You and I were sitting next to each other with your lady in between us for that show.
And Logan, right. I would say I've competed with Logan. I saw him at the Texas Pro. He looked great. And Logan definitely has that quality. And I can talk about that with other competitors because I respect these other competitors. He has that star quality and that aura about him, but not everyone does.
No, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of guys who are in this show actually. Yeah, so I think that's a good advantage for you. And I think for this show, if it's like last year, there is, I'm not sure now. It may have only been for men's open last year, where it was they had a best posing award.
Oh, no, they do have an award this year for Classic. They
Terrific.
have a $10,000 award for the best classic routine or best poser. So that's pretty cool that they've added that for the Classic division.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's tremendous. And deservingly so, because you guys are the ones who I think who, by and large, contest after contest, put out that sort of effort. You don't necessarily see that from the bodybuilding guys all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think you, Terrence, Logan, you guys are who I think are going to be in the highest running for that particular award.
Yeah. Oh, and this last weekend, Ray Baker and I finalized my routine, and I feel great. I mean, he is just a guru when it comes to designing routines and, you know, not making it to where it's so difficult in your mind and you have to overthink things. I think that's what allows me to be free. That's what allows me to bring confidence, because, you know, some people are trying to hit to all these beats and do all these intricacies, and sometimes they get in their head. And I think you and I saw it at the Texas Pro, some of the guys up there, and their eyes were not even in what they were doing. And so the less craziness that I can do in a routine where I can actually make my eyes a part of the routine, features, my looks, my hands, I think those subtle things really give the crowd a special moment. And that's what I'm looking to do.
I agree with you. That's what pulls people in. You know, we were talking about that at the Texas Pro. There were certain guys who $1 million bodies just not presenting the way that they can or should. And Ray is a great posing coach. I was watching him working on an amateur guy who's a natural bodybuilder who I just met actually at the Texas Pro. I want to say his name is Cameron.
Oh, yes. Cameron's great. He was in the posing class with me this weekend. He's competing his first show at the amateur Olympia, and the dude he's one of the best posers, period.
Smooth, man. Smooth. Yeah. And if Ray works with him, so he does great work.
Yeah.
You mentioned about how your back was a strength. What would you consider a weakness?
You know, as I was coming up in the sport, when I first started, because my background is football, we did a lot of power cleans, and it was bench press and squats. It was a lot of upper movements, really. But I would say my legs were my weakness when I started in the sport, because I wasn't banging out legs after football. There was no need to, really. So my legs were behind my upper body. I've always had a great chest and shoulders and back, and bring up my legs, which I have done in the last 3 years. And now everything is overall balanced. So, I'd like to say that right now I don't have a glaring weakness by the way that we can present it. And I think that is important, because the judges will not look at me and say, man, he really just doesn't have that. Like, my legs will get grainy. They'll have lines all on the side. My hamstrings are going to be showing. So my arms have gotten a lot bigger since last year, a lot. So it allows me to hit poses that I wasn't able to hit before. So right now I'd like to think I'm a mutant. I ain't got no weakness for this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought that anyway. I wanted to hear what you thought yourself, but watching you at the Dallas Europa, there's no glaring weaknesses, nothing that's really missing. Some guys have.
You can always improve, right?
Of course.
So I'm always looking to say, I'm always the hardest critic on myself. Like, throughout this prep, I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm not there. But I just have to trust the process. But even after these shows, it's like, you're still going to be able to find, even with the best guys in the world, he can make improvements here. He can make improvements there. So, I'll always go back to the drawing board and know that I can get better. Because the minute that you get comfortable, as we know, is the minute you get punched in the mouth and knocked down the ladder. Right.
And I think it's impressive too, if you're making improvements to your strongest body parts, that's also impressive. And you never, it's no such thing as having too strong a part, I don't think, as long as the balance is there and you have that.
Yeah. That's what's been interesting, because it really wasn't my focus to make my back that much better this time. It just happened. I was doing a lot of pull-ups. I was hitting back. In my split, I was hitting muscle group basically twice a week throughout the phase after Dallas Europa. So just naturally, my back just ate up the calories. And, my back double bicep right now, just with my arms being bigger, my shoulder development. I mean, you could see my upper chest from the back. I mean, and my lats, the way they tie in with my rear delts. I mean, I really, really do feel, I could say with confidence, my back could stand with any classic guy in the division. And to me, that's one of the most important poses. And I know Steve loves the back.
Yeah. So, the back double bicep is super important, because you see, the back is such a complex muscle structure, right? So when you see that, all those things popping out, it's the most wowing pose, in my opinion. So
I mean, we saw Tim together.
What's that?
Robert Timms, the Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And it was jaw-dropping. He had a phenomenal back and phenomenal shelf. That shelf from the front where you don't have to do nothing. It's just sitting there. And that's what I need to bring, because I'm based on height, based on weight. I don't think there's going to be anybody bigger than 228 pounds on the stage. Everyone is shorter than me. I think Logan might be an inch shorter than me. I know Brian Jones might be an inch shorter than me. So, technically, I am the biggest on the stage, I believe, at 220, 30 when we compete.
Yeah, I think you're right. I was speaking to Keon Pearson at the Texas Pro, actually. I spoke to him after that, but at the Texas Pro, we were talking about how Classic Physique, one of the reasons, well, he made the move to 212 for a few different reasons, but he truly believes that your division is more a division for tall guys like yourself. I think Terrence Ruffin may have proven that not to be the case at the Olympia. But
he's great.
But what we see by and large, I think, are guys like yourself winning these shows. So
I think the aesthetics to it.
Yes. It allows for the better flow and everything with the height and everything. So.
Yeah, I agree.
What did you think about Robert Timms? What did you think about him? Were you surprised or shocked?
I didn't know him. I heard about him. I heard that he had competed in Olympia before, and I was there front row with you guys. And the minute he came out, I was like, "That's definitely something special." You can't deny that. When he came out, I was like, he should probably win this show. The minute I saw him, I was like, yeah, he's probably going to win. So, I would see him definitely battling for the title this year. He's definitely going to be up there with Chris, no doubt about it. So I got to be prepared to battle with those two in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think for yourself, see, this is interesting to talk about this, because the reason I bring up Robert Timms is that his upper body, to me, he definitely deserved that win. You know, I'm not going to question that win at all.
Yes.
We're both like, what the hell is that? You know, when he came out.
Yes.
But he's not as balanced as yourself. And I would say even Chris Bumstead, as vastly improved as he's become, his arms could probably be a little bigger for his body. Now, maybe he will show that in 2 weeks, 3 weeks time. I don't know. But I think that you have a fighter's chance against these guys for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think balance wise, I do.
Yeah.
I think, you know, my leg development, I think the way everything is sitting right now, the way that we can hit certain poses, certain classic poses, you know, showcase our strength. And if we can nail the peak, if we can pull hard the next 3 days, we're right on the money. If we can pull hard the next 3 days and time our load up right where it needs to be and hit weight, pull water, we're going to be scary at 228. We're going to be scary. And I feel like from the Arnold, I can make improvements to the Olympia and even be more dialed in and conditioned. So that's the plan.
You, I see you're working with on some level, but you can explain it to me here, maybe, with Sean Ray.
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
Yeah,
that's my guy. It's crazy. It's, you know, I got into the sport. I remember seeing Mariah Carey scene at the Olympia. I just chills, jaw drop. Just something special. His physique was just so incredible. And, you know, he's one of the guys that I looked up to most in the sport. And, you know, somehow we linked up and started talking and took a liking to each other. We became friends. And he actually came out to Texas and we went to the Dallas Cowboys game together on one. We talked about, you know, me signing with Mutant. So I have signed with Mutant. I am kind of his prodigy in Mutant now. They've given me a really nice deal and contract to where, you know, even incentives for shows, like it's a contract that most just don't do now. So they're really taking care of me. And I can say that I'm really appreciative of Sean and I's relationship. I'm flying out to his show in Hawaii with my family, meeting his family. I'm going to do the interviews out there for his show, the classic lineup. He has classic pros going out there. So in November, I'll be out there in Hawaii with him, representing Mutant. And, you know, Sean will come take a look at me this week at the Arnold. He'll be there. Mutant is one of the big sponsors there for the Olympia. So you better believe Friday, after I load up those sweet potato fries and my steak, Sean will be in my room checking me out and posing me. And we'll be dropping some bombs and pictures this week. You better believe it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think you guys make a great pair. Sean, everyone knows, has got like a great mind for the business of bodybuilding. He was making moves back in the 90s that very few guys were making. He and Kevin Lebroni probably like about the business of bodybuilding, as well as presenting phenomenal physiques.
Yes. He's really short amount of time I've known him and talked to him, like he's just teaching me so much about the business, about running shows, about setting up sponsorships, about, like, he is busy, he is active. So he is really, really active in the sport, which is truly what I want to do. You know, I'm running a big company right now, and you know, I want to, as my time is up as an athlete, you know, I want to be able to do this thing, give back, and be able to promote shows and be able to be, you know, an MC at shows and just be in tune with the sport, not just be an athlete and then walk away and never be a part of it again. So I'm very excited to do that with Sean and stay a part of bodybuilding for the rest of my career.
Yeah, I think that's tremendous. You're very much like him in terms of intelligence, articulate, you know, being so articulate as you are, the charisma that you have. very similar to him, and it's great that you have him as a mentor. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really, yeah, that's terrific. So have you looked at anything else like the men's open bodybuilding for this classic, the Arnold Classic?
I haven't. My head, I'm like this.
That's good.
Blind. I'm not focused on nothing else. I'm just trying to win every single day. I mean, so I haven't even looked at open. I mean, there is days, I kid you not, where I'm doing 5 a days. I was out of my mind. My coaches were like, "You've lost your mind?" Like, I'm talking about cardio, then eat, then train, then cardio midday, then cardio at night, and abs. Like, I was going in, you know, and I felt like probably at week 10, when I was traveling a lot, week 8, I was a little behind just because of my travels. So, you know, there were days I was doing 4 a days, 5 a days, 3 a days, you know, doing about 3-4 hours a day. So, you know, I hadn't had time to really look at much. I hadn't even had time to set up my tanning for the Arnold yet. So, but you better believe I fly out tomorrow. I'm going to execute peak week in Ohio. So I'm going to get all those ducks in a row. But I feel really good about Physique is that. But the open lineup, I do know some of the names in there, and I'm excited to see them. I'm definitely excited to watch how it unfolds.
Yeah, well, I think all of the divisions that are there, bikini even, and fitness, it's just an amazing show. I really wish I was able to make it to this show, man, because it's all stacked. They're all like Olympia level shows. Actually, I was going to say without Mr. Olympia, but in fitness, Ms. Olympia is competing. Missy Truscott, who I'll be interviewing tomorrow. What's that?
And what's so neat is there's only 4 divisions. That's what's so crazy. Like, the Arnold is going on with only 4 divisions and a limited amount of competitors. You almost feel it's almost that much more special in a sense, because there's not many. There's like 40-something athletes. So to be one of the 40-something athletes in the world invited is already a win. Like, you know, I told people, it's like at the beginning of this year, you know, I'm all about manifesting my goals and my dreams and turning it into reality. At the beginning of this year, I said to myself, my goal was to compete at the Arnold, and my goal was to compete at the Olympia. I've done both. That was my goal. And the other goal was to be top 10 in the world. And I feel like I can accomplish all of those things this year.
Yeah, I think you can do even better than that, my
Certainly.
friend. Yes.
I know. But the beginning goal, I know where I was going to take it, you know, because we weren't even set for the Arnold. We didn't even know the Arnold was going to happen. It was all up in the air. So, yeah, and I had to go win. I had to go take care of business first to qualify for the Olympia. I didn't want to get ahead of myself. But I'm telling you my initial goal. Now my goals have went a little higher. But, so it's all about manifesting. Absolutely.
That's amazing. Yeah. I wish I need to do a little bit more of that myself. Manifesting. Yeah. Maybe I'll listen to you, talk to you about that. But, hey, man, I really appreciate you coming on again, spending this time to talk to me. I know this is crunch time for you. You're flying out tomorrow. Yes. So I really appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah. I appreciate what you do for. I know a lot of the athletes do. I mean, really, the way that you take your time out and care about the athletes and you interview us, it's really important. This means a lot to us. I mean, a lot of us are going through a dark phase right now. And I genuinely appreciate the sport because I know what everyone else is going through. I know the battles. Everyone's going through battles. There's not one pro out there that's not had to face some adversity. So everyone standing on that stage is a winner already. Like, there's no losers up there to be invited to the Arnold. You know, it's just all about our best. And I told my coaches this week, I don't need to be in my head. I don't need to be stressed. I have nothing to lose. I'm not picked to be the favorite. So it's all about having fun and just going out on a freaking show.
Yeah. You only get one first Arnold. You only get one first Olympia. And you can just have a blast doing it, man. Cause you got the goods. You're going to bring it. It's going to be a blast. Have a good time with it.
Yes, sir. Get your popcorn ready, Mike.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely be watching on pay-per-view. Maybe not that night. I might have to watch the next morning, but I'll be watching for sure.
And I'm gonna see you. Yeah.
What's that?
I'm gonna see you at the Olympia. You're going to
Oh, for sure. Yeah, man. I got hooked up really nicely for the Olympia. I got press passes for myself and a photographer. I have a professional photographer. His name is Jeff Robinson. He is called at Stage Time Photo on Instagram. Everyone should follow him. Very talented guy. Actually, he edits all my videos, but he's going to be my photographer at the show. It's going to be, I'm really excited about it.
I have a mutant shoot right after the Olympia Sunday morning, and then we're doing a big brunch. This is a formal invite. If you're not Sunday after the Olympia, we'll have a big brunch, and you're more than welcome to join.
Oh, brother, I appreciate that.
All right.
Sounds awesome. All right. Thanks for
good.
coming on, man. I appreciate you. Hang up for one more second. I'm just going to wrap up real fast, but I'm going to talk to you real fast afterwards. Okay. All right. Guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Subscribe if you would, and tell your friends to do so as well. Thanks for watching. This is Michael Bryson for This is Bodybuilding with Tony Taveras, heading into the Arnold Classic. Take care. Okay.
That was bad to the bone, brother.